What's happening, people? I'm here with the main man.
It's the champ.
Make sure you tune into Pep Talk UK, where it talks boxing and
big up.
Thank you, AJ.
Pep Talk UK.
Ladies and gents, for the fight fans locked in, for the football fans locked in, now it's time for some real talk on Pep Talk. Let's go.
Everyone talk good game, but it don't really faze me. The man that ain't mad like Max, the boy that not murky like Ace B. And them guy walk the slide on the back, balling like a baby.
Oi oi! Welcome to the Pep Talk UK Sports Podcast, the podcast that talks the major boxing and football news from around the globe, real points of view from a real panel. Hashtag real talk on Pep Talk. Please subscribe to Pep Talk UK on iTunes and YouTube. Don't forget to like, share and comment. Now I'm your host Frankie B, aka Pro Beezy, and I'm joined by two good guys. First up, I'd like to welcome him back. It's the Frenchman with more swagger than Eric Cantona. It's Pascal. How you doing, bro?
Oui. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien, Frankie B. I am not bad indeed. And yourself?
Doing well, mate. The rain's getting me down, but who's complaining?
Pro showers, you know, but the good thing, Frankie B, is that the spring weather is round the corner.
And that, you know what that means as well? Many beach parties, Pascal.
Of course. Good times.
Right, Pascal. Should we shout your social media?
Yes, of course. My social media, ladies and gentlemen, is Pascal _the_sad, Instagram and Twitter. Follow me and I follow you back.
Cracking stuff. Right, finally, I'm going to introduce another Pep Talk brethren. Fresh from the 5-1 aggregate Champions League demolition of Man City. It's my boy MJ. How you doing, bro?
Frankie B, Pro Beezy. MJ is literally on like another level. Seriously.
Cloud9, eh?
To be honest, it's higher than Cloud9, you know. Is there somewhere higher than heaven? You know, we need to have this serious conversation. I think we need to get a preacher on here to tell us if there's a higher level to go than heaven. Because I tell you what, I am floating just above there right now, Frankie B.
No, I've been talking to a few Liverpool guys. They're telling me that the win the other night was better than sex, mate.
To be honest, I don't know about that. To be honest, you know, it depends on who they're having intercourse with. You know, like those boys need to get checked. So yeah, it was pretty good, but you know, I definitely wouldn't actually put it on those levels. But you know what, Frankie B, I am super excited. Like you said, apart from the April showers, we've been able to get a big win. We're going to be in the hat for the next round of the Champions League, and I'm looking forward to discussing all the boxing and the football with everyone on the pod tonight, Frankie B.
Cool. You want to shout out your social media real quick?
Absolutely. On Instagram, follow me, like _Mike28, and you can get me as well on Twitter, MJ Pep Talk Boy. Send me some abuse, I'd rather not, but send me some good stuff. But most importantly, let's interact. Let's do that.
That's it, active. Right, guys, so we're briefly going to touch on the boxing. Yes, we ready. Let's get into it. It's real talk. It's Pep Talk. So we're going to start with the boxing once more. Last weekend in Las Vegas, James Degale became a 2-time world champion. Now, Pascal,
Wait.
Revenge was served, but it certainly was a hard-fought victory for the man they call James Chunky Degale.
I absolutely agree with you. They said that revenge is a dish served cold, and this dish for me was a bit lukewarm. You know, I'm happy for James again. You know, he's a friend of the show. You know, and it was important for him to win that fight for KB, as you know, because had he lost that fight, the prospect of super fights, domestic super fights in the UK would have been seriously hindered. But I think that we can safely say that there could be a rematch on the cards between George Groves and James Degale, or Callum Smith, of course. Let's not quickly jump to conclusions, but I'm saying that because I think that the British public would prefer to see a Groves, versus Degale too, because the build-up will be very entertaining. We know that those two fighters don't like each other, but if I'm brutally honest, and if I'm compared the two fighters since they fought each other, James Degale at one point was ahead of George Groves. He was.
Yep.
World champion, he was fighting better, he was certainly the name on everybody else's lips, but I think that George Groves has come back into the mix for me, because the Super 6 championship has helped him to become, to be remembered as a force in boxing, in British boxing. The defeat that Chris Eubank suffered at the hands of George Groves also catapulted his public appeal, and I think that Groves is in a good shout here to prove to himself and to the rest of the world that he's still a very, very top super middleweight fighter or middleweight fighter. So I think that if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but sometimes I am, I would favor Groves in a fight against James Degale, because the fight against Truax, Frankie B, I felt that James Degale's movement was better than the first fight.
Yes.
He was more cautious.
He made him miss quite a lot, didn't he? He made Truax miss quite a bit.
He certainly did, you're correct. Truax did not find opportunity to connect very well. I felt that Degale landed a cleaner punches. There was a lot of headbutting in that fight. I felt that the fight was quite messy at times.
Very scrappy.
And very scrappy. Degale unfortunately cut very quickly. I think that the corner of James Degale needs to be, reviewed, because the cuts that James Degale suffers are not normal cuts. Every fight he's been in of late has been quite a difficult fight for him, and he seems to suffer from cuts. But more importantly, during the fight, the cuts do not seem to dissipate. So I think there's certainly something that needs to be looked at. But the performance overall was a good performance, but it seems to me that James is declining a little bit, and I think that fight with Badou Jack took a lot out of him, more than he expected. And the fact that he had to go to full 12 rounds with Truax, either Truax is a force to be reckoned with, and
he's slept on. You look at his record. He's lost to world class fighters, Anthony Durrell and Jermaine Taylor. He's lost to world level elite fighters.
He has. I agree with you, Frankie. But he comes to fight. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's a fighter.
Comes to fight. Yeah. He comes to fight, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's willing to live it out there in the ring. But for me, if James Degale wanted to send a message to the likes of Benavidez, to the likes of George Groves or Smith or anyone else in that division, and even Chris Eubank Jr., I would expect it, to at very least, see a knockdown, where James could actually knock down Truax or certainly trouble him. And the fight was a very good fight from start to finish, but I did not see much of the I did not see it as a statement, It wasn't a statement response for me, and I think that James Degale needs to show that, look, he's back in the fold. And also, I felt that the judging also wasn't very good, Two judges, scored it really, really close, but the 117 to 110, that scorecard was completely ridiculous in my opinion.
MJ, did you get a chance to watch the fight? And if so, are you looking forward to the tantalising prospect of James Degale versus George Groves, part 2?
Frankie B, absolutely. I'll tell you what, the one image all boxing fans actually remember from the fight, or if you've actually had a look at any of the press afterwards, was actually the fact both fighters actually shared the same ambulance to actually go get checked out. Like, Pep Talk fans, go on, have a look at that on, just to show you what kind of brawl it was. They both gave an absolute excellent showing, and it was a complete and utter battle there, so like Pascal said, there was a bit of headbutting going on, but you know what, I'm gonna have to agree with Pascal again when it comes to James Degale, who obviously is a friend of the show as well. We've had his trainer on here as well. We need to remember, regular listeners will actually know that. But James Degale going up against his bogey person in George Groves, he just is not able to beat George Groves for whatever reason. George Groves beat him the first time, they had the rematch, and Groves still won. So you know what, for whatever reason, we've always spoken about the one thing we consistently say when we have a lot of the best boxing analysts on here is styles make fights. And the way James Degale likes to actually, he's going to need a total new game plan if he's going to go up against George Groves. Because we know George Groves, he seems a little bit underrated, but George Groves is a very, very solid boxer and always finds a way to dig deep and actually get that W. So it's really exciting times. We are so pleased that James Degale is actually back, but he's going to have to tune up and actually be a lot more impressive if he wants to hang on to that strap. Because as we know, when it's strap season, the big fights, you know, they come. Like the big names, they show up on the big occasions and they show that they are world class. And I think we want to see a little bit more from James Degale. Previously, when he had the belt, it seemed like he was just finally showing all the promise that we knew he had. But he's going to have to show some more because he's 32 now. And he's actually at the twilight. You know, he's right now, he should be at his peak.
He's got one more big fight left in him, basically.
Absolutely. And how great would that be if it was a domestic fight, Frankie B? I'm not sure how you see that one.
Cool.
I mean, myself and Pascal have both given our opinions on it. I mean, how do you see the big Degale Groves if that is the next fight?
Look, I saw the first fight at the O2. That fight was extremely close. I thought it was a draw, but they gave it to George Groves. And, you know, for me, these fighters are very evenly matched. They're from the same amateur school, I believe, Pascal. And you can see that they know each other well from the fight that they had. There's no love lost between the two. And, you know, I always love a bit of a grudge match where there's a bit of needle in the fight. You know, and these two have proven that super middleweight, you know, they are at the top of the food chain, as it were. And, you know, a fight between the two is going to be really interesting. I think stylistically, I prefer James Degale. You know, the swift footwork, you know, the head movement, you know, the snappy jab. You know, he's the slickster. But again, George Groves has got a cracking jab. This fight, you know, for the boxing purists will be extremely interesting. But my opinion is these two fighters have got one big fight left in them. And hopefully that will be a fight to remember. Now it's interview time. And this week we feature some young, hungry promoters who will be putting on a fabulous night of boxing that includes music performances, the 21st of April, the This Is Boxing event at York Hall. Now we spoke to the two promoters behind the event, Ants and Wiley. Now let's hear from them both. Oi, it's your boy Frankie B reporting for Pep Talk UK. I'm joined by my good mate, Mr. Shaz Smack. How you doing, bro?
I'm always well.
And we're also joined by two lovely fellas, young boxing promoters who've got an event April the 21st. We're joined by Ant and Wiley. I'm not talking about the godfather of grime. I'm talking about the boxing promoter himself. Guys, how you doing, guys?
Yeah, all good, thank you. All good. Thanks for having us on. Great.
So, April the 21st, big event at York Hall. Boxing, music, entertainment. It's going to be a good night.
Yeah, so it's going to be quite a unique night. You're going to have 10 plus fights on the night, and then also 8 live music performances. So it's definitely a boxing event with a difference.
So the event itself, I mean, what are you guys trying to achieve? Are you trying to cater for people that want a bit of entertainment and boxing in one night?
Yeah, like what we're trying to do is basically like attract a new crowd to boxing through the music, and like just the general boxing crowd that would normally come to a boxing event.
So basically the difference is, like, typically people will go to a boxing event to support either a loved one or a friend who's fighting on the night, or you'll be a boxing purist, so you'll go along because you're into your boxing. We're trying to bring that demographic that aren't maybe not boxing purists, but they like a good night out. Yeah, casuals. They'll watch AJ fight at home, but they won't go to a live boxing event because they don't feel like the event reflects who they are or what they like to do. So we're trying to incorporate the music, the culture, and make it more of a show as opposed to just a boxing show, if that makes sense. So some people will come out for the music, some will come out for the boxing. Either way, it will cast new eyes upon upon the boxing industry and also onto the music industry as well. So the boxing fans will come out and be like, oh, I like these artists, so I'm into this music now, and vice versa. So people who have come out for the music might be like, oh, actually I'm really into boxing, live boxing events, so good events to go to. But when we've done our research onto why people from the BAME communities and the urban communities don't go to boxing events, they say it doesn't reflect them and it's not what they're about, or they feel like culturally they don't fit in. So we're looking to bridge that void and bridge that gap.
You already had an event.
Yeah.
Season 1.
Yeah.
This is season 2.
Yeah.
How did season 1 go? What are your expectations of season 2? And in terms of frequency, how many of these are you looking to lay on a year?
Well, yeah, season 1 went pretty well. We had about 900 people in the hall on the night. We had 60,000 people watching at home online because we used the media platform Link Up TV. We had Fecky headlining, so it went really well. We've had a lot of good feedback. People have told us this is needed for the culture, it's needed for boxing as well. So yeah, it's gone great guns. The second event is going to be bigger and better. We've got the likes of Western performing. We've also got B Young, who's got a top 15 track out at the moment. We've got Deep Green and many other artists performing on the night as well. So bigger, better, and we're looking to do these every 3 to 4 months and get bigger every time, really.
Now, something really important that hasn't been mentioned as yet, and I'm interested in, who come up with the name This Is Boxing? Boys, this is boxing.
Yeah.
Who's going to take the credit?
That's got to go to Ant.
Yeah, that was me. Do you know what?
It was me.
Yeah. But I did struggle for a bit. Like, I remember I was just back and forth with a friend. I came up with some ridiculous names. And then one day I just thought, like, this is boxing, like, do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Should be. Yeah.
On a personal level, I'm surprised the hashtag hadn't been used, the name hadn't been used. It is a fantastic name. This is boxing. Now, you've got a good friend of Pep Talks MCing it, Spencer Ferron, on the last occasion. He's a returning regular, it seems he's coming back in the second one. And he's joined by a lovely lady as well. He's joined by a lovely lady this time.
Yeah, Sinead. She's a radio presenter on Pulse 88. So we thought we wanted to, because obviously Spencer's amazing at what he does, master knowledge, but we need someone a bit prettier on the eye. So we've got Sinead involved, and she's a good
You know
presenter.
he's going to drop out after you've said that.
Spencer
likes.
Yeah, shout out to Spence.
Big up Spencer, man.
Yeah, love Spencer, man. He's been nothing but supportive from the start.
From the beginning, man.
Initially, I just reached out to him on LinkedIn. He said, send me more details. And then ever since that, he's been like part of the family. So got nothing but love for him.
As promoters, it's a very tough game to get into. I obviously I spend a lot of time around boxing. Promotion is not easy. There's a lot of groundwork that needs to be done. What motivated you guys to do this?
For me personally, I just think it's needed culturally. I go to a lot, like my background's MMA, so I've done pretty much every martial art there is.
At which point I'll take a step back.
Yeah, so and I go to a lot of I've gone to a lot of boxing shows, I've gone to a lot of MMA fights, cage fights, etc. And there is nothing that is culturally specific to the BAME community. It's usually either a pie and pint kind of atmosphere, like, come on lads, let's have it, or it's quite black tie and quite traditional. So we feel like this is literally needed. We need something where people feel like, oh, this is an event for us and for our culture. It's not to exclude anyone or to stigmatise anyone, but it's to have something for everyone. And we feel like this event doesn't exist and needs to. So, do
you know where you had me? You had me at the pick and mix.
Yeah, so you get, if you're in our VIP, you get untapped pick and mix on tap. You also get your popcorn, candy floss, etc. So
no hard food.
Yeah, we got we got the yard food going on. We got the jerk chicken burgers and all that. So yeah, there's going to be soul food there as well. So everything cultural is within the culture is going to be represented.
Now, in terms of the boxing, there's some belts on the line. You've got your own belts. This is boxing belts. You've got a Link
Up TV
belt.
Yeah, and then we've got the Free Shots of Tequila belt. They're the guys that do our commentary. They have a weekly podcast. They've won multi awards. Like,
I've heard it. I've heard you boys on it as well. I've heard it, and I've heard you boys on it. It's good. In terms of promotion, what have you guys done in terms of promoting this event?
Yeah, so we've been on. We've got a lady who's working on our PR at the moment. We did a press release. We've posted it out to all the major kind of urban relevant publications. We've got an in-depth feature coming up on The Voice newspaper. We've done radio on West Side. We're doing radio on Pulse 88. We've done Radar twice.
Free Shots podcast.
Yeah, we're doing Represent Radio in Brixton next week. We're meeting with Brooke Stretfield, who's a boxing journalist at the Daily Telegraph.
Very well. Yeah, very well. Lovely lady.
Yeah, so she's part of our team as well. So she helps us out massively. We're meeting her again today.
You're missing one. You're missing an important one.
Oh, and also the biggest one out there, Pep Talk. So we're with Pep Talk now.
Scratch back.
Scratch back. So the guys at Pep Talk are absolute legends. So shout out to them.
In terms of the event is next weekend, people want to get tickets. How do they get a ticket for this event? What do they do?
So they can either go to our website, which is www.thisisboxing.uk, or you can go to our Instagram handle at thisisboxinguk and click the link in the bio. Also, my Insta handle is Wiley85. Again, link in the bio, and Ants is Ant-Man, but the A in man is an X because he's just different like that.
In terms of prices, how much do we need to spend to get a ticket, and what are the range of tickets that you have, and what do they include?
Yeah, so very reasonable in relation to the pricing. It starts from £20. That would be just your normal stand-in ticket. It goes all the way up to £60 for seated VIP ringside, which is if you've gone to York Hall to watch a boxing show, then that is really reasonable. It's about 50% cheaper than the average ticket price for York Hall. And then we've got we've got VIP balcony, which is £40. Yeah. They range from 20, 40 to 60. Go and get your tickets.
I just see, as a brand, this is boxing growing and growing and growing, because obviously you're having to get boxers on, you're having to get musicians on. This doesn't look like a profiteering scam where you're trying to earn a quick buck, because you're having to put in a lot of money to get this organised. We at Pep Talk are going to be watching the journey, we're going to be supporting the journey, and to be honest, gents, if there's anything we can do to come along or to support any which way whatsoever, we're happy to do it, because to be honest, I love what you're doing and I love the ethos behind it, and on top of which, for two young lads, you're doing a fantastic job, so you've got my approval and you've got my full backing, full support.
No, it does mean a lot.
I'll be honest, I've been watching your journey. I saw what was going on at the first one. I've been watching and listening out for you guys on various podcasts, on radio stations. I've actually been making a bit of effort to see if you're the real deal. And as far as I'm concerned, this is all legit and it's 100%, and it's almost like a movement that is going to grow and grow and grow. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, thank you. That's definitely what it's about. Like you say, it wasn't about, let's try and be Jack the Lag and play Don King for the weekend. It's about building a brand with real legs and longevity, and something that's going to have real cultural impact as well. So.
I'm still waiting for the merch side, the caps and T-shirts, and I'm going to be walking down various high streets wearing it.
That's all to come. We'll sort you out, Shaz, and obviously you guys are more than welcome to come. We'll sort you with tickets for the event, etc. So.
Well, gents, we're looking forward to your event. We hope it's a fantastic one.
Thank you.
I've just got one thing to say. This is boxing. Cheers, gents. Thank you very much.
Cheers, thanks.
Thank you, guys. All the best. We'll be supporting the event. Finally, we hear from one of the boxers featuring on the night itself. A man grateful for the opportunity to box at such a famous venue like York Hall. It's Emmanuel Doko.
Oi, it's Pep Talk UK, it's Frankie B. Joined with my good mate, Mr. Shaz Mac. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, and I'm excited by a young boxer that we're interviewing today, who's a white-collar boxer. It's Mr. Emmanuel Doko. How you doing, Emmanuel?
I'm good, thank you.
Emmanuel, I've been speaking to the promoters of This Is Boxing.
Yeah.
You've made your way onto the card in your fourth fight, and you're fighting for This Is Boxing belt. Tell the listeners what weight you're going to be fighting at and what it feels like to be at this event.
Well, I'm excited. I'm fighting on 85. That's my weight.
85
kg, that's right, yeah. And I'm just looking forward. I'm really, really hungry for this belt. You know, a free shot, tequila. So, so I'm looking forward. And I'm ready.
In terms of, I've spent a lot of time with pro boxers. I spend time with amateur boxers. As a white-collar boxer, what is your training regime to prepare for an event like this?
I train like 4 times a week, sometimes 5. Just working on my leg movements, you know, working hard with my coaches at Stevenage, and just a lot of cardio work and just prepare myself to strength and to get to this level. So it's a lot of work over time.
Now, Emmanuel, York Hall,
Yeah.
a lot of famous people,
Big crowds.
boxers have fought there before. Will that bring some nerves with it?
Yeah, it did at first. I was boxing the first season. It did, but I think I'm getting over it now. You know, yeah, there's gonna be a little bit. But you know, it's gonna be controlled. And yeah, it's a famous boxing place, and I'm really excited. I mean, what Ant-Man and Wally have, the platform they've created, giving people like myself the opportunity, you know, to perform at York Hall Boxing is really, you know, it's really great.
It's a good shop window.
It's a brilliant shop window.
Just the live streams with Link Up TV, the amount of people that possibly wouldn't see you can get to see you. So you're going for the knockout?
Yeah. Well, it's all in God's plan, but yeah. Knockout would be great. But the most is just, you know, go for the win, and you know, and I'm here to do that, and I will do that, you know, on the 21st.
Now, I always like asking this question. Tell me you got a nickname, otherwise I'm going to start thinking of one.
Yeah.
The Tank, maybe?
Black Panther.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, Black Panther Doko, yeah. So that's my nickname. And I'm guessing you've seen the movie, right?
My kids have, I haven't.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, yeah, it's very inspirational. You know, movie.
I was grounded that day. My kids were allowed out. I wasn't allowed out. I was grounded because I was out of boxing.
Okay. So who you fight? What do you know about your opponent?
Yeah, I've seen him. You know, we had a bit of sparring. Okay. You know, yeah. So
that's what you do in white collar.
That's what you
train together, and
you train together, and it's good as well because you know. With the platform, like I said, that, you know, Ant-Man and what they have, you know, put together, you get to meet your opponents.
That's right.
You know, so it's different, you know, because a lot of fights don't really get to have a chance to meet your opponents and feel that confident.
So you've seen his weaknesses.
Something like that.
I need you to talk some trash. Talk some trash about it. Talk badly about it.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen areas where you know, I can work through it and I can get him. You know, and
are you gonna do him Sparko?
yeah, and you know, training with him and seeing it, I'm very confident, you know, that I got this fight, you know, so yeah, that I'm not sweating about that. And then
Emmanuel, we're gonna be there fight night.
Okay.
We're gonna. If you hear someone screaming your name out, Doko, Black Panther, Bombaye.
You see me doing the cross, you know, yeah.
The cross, because I know that much about the film. Yeah. Stay focused. Don't look round at me because I got a bad habit of screaming.
No worries. But yeah, I mean, you know, the movie, you know, so it's like the first black hero movie. So superhero, that's right. So I'm definitely gonna be the hero for my fans and my family on that day. So yeah.
Win by knockout, stoppage.
Do you know what? Yeah. There's gonna be stoppage.
Whatever comes.
Frankie wants some trash talk at you. He wants you to say, "I'm gonna punch him in the head. I'm gonna beat him up." That's what Frankie's looking for. But
you know what? I mean, like I said, you know, everything's God's plan. But you know, I know my strength. You know, I've been working hard. I've been training hard, and you know, I know I got this. So
most importantly, it's going to be a fantastic night of boxing, fantastic night of entertainment, music. We wish you the best of luck. Hope you enjoy the occasion, and we at Pep Talk are going to be there cheering you on. But most importantly, thank you very much for giving us your time today, and go get that win.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I also want to give a shout out to Gerard and Ayo. They've been working really hard with us, you know, training really hard, and yeah, they've been motivating us, so big shout out to them as well.
Good team, good platform. I think it's going to go all the way to the top. That's my personal prediction, but we're going to be following it, and we'll look to see you not only in this season, but we want to see you next season as well. So enjoy your time, Emmanuel. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. All the best. Try and enjoy the occasion and go get that win. Now it's football time. Now, MJ, the Champions League was exciting, but now equally we look forward to another Premier League weekend with a big game. Will it be the eventual crown of the Man City take on Spurs at Wembley? Now, MJ, this is a big game. Surely Man City need to wrap up the title this time.
Frankie B, I couldn't agree with you more. We've still got this crazy race for the top 4. Some people kind of ruling Chelsea out. Obviously, Spurs have definitely got their foot in there in that Champions League. And we've got also the Man City as well. Pep Guardiola, for the first time in his career, off the back of that stunning loss for Guardiola to Liverpool. And we also need to remember, he also lost as well against United. Are we talking about Guardiola taking 4 L's on the bounce?
4 L's.
Because he lost to Liverpool the week before. So, lost to Liverpool, lost to United, lost to Liverpool again, and they got Spurs away. So, it's a big game for both sides. So, yeah. And you know what? I'm just going to come out and just say it. There's no sitting on the fence, Frankie B. I'm not sure how you see this one. I see City a little bit going through a tough period right now. And you know what? If you're actually going through a tough period, the one place you don't want to go to is Spurs. It's Spurs. Especially after we need to remember, Guardiola did call Tottenham the Harry Kane team. And also, he's also got beat from Pochettino, the times in which Pochettino managed Espanyol and Barcelona with Guardiola. And we need to remember, Espanyol always used to have favourable results against Pep Guardiola's sides, even Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. So this is another, he doesn't like playing against Klopp, and he certainly doesn't like playing against Pochettino, because teams who press the ball and play with the high line seem to disrupt Guardiola. Guardiola loves to play against people.
Yeah, he likes to take control, doesn't he?
Or don't have that support. So I'm not sure how you see this one, Frankie B, but I personally, I'm going for a Tottenham win, another loss for Man City, so yeah, and I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs with Harry Kane actually scoring 2 goals, chasing Mohamed Salah down. I'm not sure how you see this one, Frankie B.
MJ, I'm definitely going for a Spurs victory. It's funny because Man City have been at the top of the Premier League for months now. As it happens, when you've got a title in the bag. Let's face it, the title is in the bag. It's just a formality. But mentally, the players they seem to be on their holidays already. And I think that's what's affected performances. I mean, you see it in Germany with Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich usually wrap up the title, like they've just recently done as well, in April.
That's true.
The games afterwards really are a formality. So, in terms of Guardiola, he's going to have a bit of problems remotivating his players to get that title. But maybe there might be a wounded animal this weekend and give Spurs some issues. But essentially, I think Spurs really want to nail on that Champions League place, and you can look no further than Harry Kane to get a couple, Sonado to razzle and dazzle,
of course,
and Pochettino will love it.
He does not get one over Pep. I do agree with you. And to be honest, the fact they don't like each other, like Pep and, maybe Guardiola, maybe there might be an edge to it. He might get his players slightly more wound up. But the truth is, I totally agree with you. Spurs have got more to gain than City. Whether City win, lose or draw, it doesn't matter. Titles are possession. But Spurs really need this win to really nail it on. The fact that there will be Champions League football in their new stadium. So, yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. And, I think Spurs will probably just edge it.
Yeah, we're both in agreement there. Well, speaking of Champions League places, the team above them, your team, the mighty Reds, Liverpool, take on Bournemouth at home. Now, Salah, 39 goals, I believe it is, this season, which is totally remarkable, mate.
Hey, that's incredible, isn't it? So, I think the only person who's outscored him is Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo has 40 goals. But he scored the same amount of goals. Even the race for the Golden Boot in Europe, in Europe's top 4 leagues, he's scored the same amount of league goals as Messi, because Messi scored a hat-trick to take it to both 29 goals. But that's just incredible. So, yeah. But you know what? I mean, Liverpool-Bournemouth, we've had issues with Bournemouth in the past when we did collapse. But when we played Bournemouth this season, because Bournemouth played really, really open, it's going to be so easy for Liverpool. I expect us to just blitz them, because these are not the teams we struggle against. We struggle against.
You've got to remember, you just played a midweek game with a top team, and again, a lot of you guys' energy is being put into into that game. So Bournemouth, they've had a week off and they might be quite fresh.
Nah, listen. Basically, you know how we used to talk about boxing, how we've even said today on the pod, styles actually make fights. It's the exact same with football as well. The fact that Bournemouth are going to come up and open, what we like to do, any team that plays open, we're going to press the ball very, very high, close to the goal, which actually takes little or no energy from us, and with the pace of Salah, of Mane, and the intelligence of Firmino, we're going to open them up. So yeah, if we were playing against Swansea or someone who's going to be very, very compact, or even a West Ham, to be honest. West Ham would be a difficult team for us to play. A team who wants to play deep and doesn't want to open up and play football. But Bournemouth, Eddie Howe, he believes in taking the game to the opposition manager. So he's going to play open football. And against Liverpool, the one thing you cannot do is play open football.
That's it. There's spaces for the pace.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to be very, very compact, play narrow, and just try to stop. But the fact that Bournemouth are actually going to come out and try to play, I only see us going one way. It's just going to be like 3-1 or 3-0 or 4-1. Yeah. We're going to score a lot of goals, and we might concede a goal. I don't know, but I'm going for 3-1 Liverpool. I'm not sure how you see this. You might see this differently off the back of what's it called, but I'm super intrigued. How do you think this game's going to go down, Frankie?
MJ, I'm in total agreement. Once again, this doesn't happen often, me and you agreeing on several results. But
you know what? I can absolutely agree with that.
I'm feeling the wave right now. I'm feeling the red wave. I must admit, your attack is absolutely formidable, mate. Firmino, Salah, Mane up front, Chamberlain's buzzing in behind. The team's looking good, and if you concede goals like Bournemouth, against Liverpool's, the wrong team to be playing open football with. So Liverpool are going to win at a canter. I expect the Kop will be in full force. I expect Bournemouth to leak goals, and I expect the red wave to keep riding on, mate. Riding on. So I'm going for 3-0 Liverpool.
Awesome.
Now, just to conclude, our final game that we'll predict will be Newcastle in Geordieland versus Arsenal. Now, it's a bit of a dead rubber, MJ, in this game.
I totally agree with you, but we need to talk about the great Newcastle-Arsenal game. Do you remember that? DEONTAY, God rest his soul. We spoke about him earlier on the pod when he was that amazing 4-4 away, so yeah. I think every Arsenal fan will remember that, being disappointed about being so many goals ahead, but then at the end, Newcastle actually nicking a point, literally in injury time. So yeah, Frankie B, as an Arsenal fan, that must be a game you probably remember, probably for the wrong reasons.
Mate, I remember I was in my car. I was heading somewhere on a Saturday, maybe to do a bit of shopping in Tesco. I heard Van Persie banged in a couple, hit Arsenal running riot. And then, next thing I know, there's some sort of a clown of a ref that gave away 2 penalties. I saw the penalties. From there, Arsenal just, we have a problem with game management under Wenger. And that game was a great example that Arsenal, even if they're 4-0 up, you could still not, count your chickens. So it was a very painful memory, but I think what's more painful is we haven't learned our lesson.
Yeah, to be honest, it's still like the odd.
It's still the same. It's still the same. So
yeah, the odd thing kind of goes on. But for this weekend, how are you feeling about Arsenal? Because it's a completely different Arsenal side. When the Europa League, because the Europa League side, he almost plays like a lesser side so far. Aubameyang seems bang on form. He seems in really good form.
Yeah, was that 6 goals? 6 goals and 7.
Yeah, took a really, and you know what, him going up against Newcastle, I'm sure Aubameyang will want to continue to terrorise defences, even in the North East and St James's Park. And we also need to remember, Arsene Wenger, historically, he does have a good record against Rafael Benitez, because that was one team. When Rafa was our manager, we didn't enjoy playing against Arsenal, I can tell you that much. So yeah, especially away from home. Literally, we'll go over to the Emirates or Highbury and we'll get spanked. So yeah, so we've also got Rafa versus the man who every other fan wants to stay, Arsene Wenger. So, surely you've got to fancy Arsene Wenger's chances of actually getting this done.
This game could be potentially a draw, It's similar to Man City. Man City know they've got the league in the bag. Arsenal know they can't qualify for the Champions League through the league. They're going to make a long journey up to the northeast, and that in itself is quite tiring. You know, and I think Arsenal,
especially after a trip to Moscow.
To Moscow.
Yeah,
so,
Moscow. I love that.
I mean, look, I think the only exciting thing for me is at the moment is in the league, is seeing Aubameyang play, seeing how he fits into the Arsenal team. He's banging in goals. Yes, when he first came, I criticised him because I had noticed, apart from the goals, literally he does nothing else. But look, who's complaining? Who's complaining? He's banging them in. We're winning games because of that. Iwobi's now turned up, you know, with a few assists. Ramsey's turned up with a few goals. So hopefully we can have a strong end of season push and win the Europa League. But I just feel if Arsenal draw Atletico, I feel Atletico will beat Arsenal. But look, what's done is done. Let's enjoy the rest of the league.
It's not just that, Frankie. We've been here before. That season, Arsene Wenger won his last FA Cup. You drew City in the quarterfinals and Chelsea in the final, and no one gave Arsene Wenger hope. But you know what? He knows when it's time to pull a rabbit out of the hat. He knows how to do that. Plus, one more thing as well. We need to remember Chelsea are on such a poor run that it's only 3 points that separates Chelsea from Arsenal.
Fifth, there's no consolation for finishing fifth. Yeah, I mean it's the same price, Europa League again. And I'm sure Conte's even probably losing on purpose, mate. They're probably losing on purpose now.
Yeah, but if you win the Europa League and finish fifth, that will be salvaging something.
Yeah, well, yeah, he'll be, and then Wenger will say, "Look, I told you, I'm the right man for the job," which, you know, I don't want to hear. But we will see. MJ, I'd like to thank the listeners for locking in. Join us again next week for another Pep Talk UK podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave your comments in the box below. Thank you.
Pep